chosen one. What I'm about to share with you may catch you off guard, but it's exactly what you need to hear in this season of your life. You are not here by chance. You didn't just stumble onto this message. God Himself led you to this moment because something extraordinary is about to unfold for you. A love is coming, not ordinary love, not fleeting attraction, but a love that will transform you at your very core. Yes, you heard me right. The love you've been yearning for, praying for, and imagining from a distance is no longer just a dream. It's stepping into your reality in ways that will surprise you and lift you higher than you ever thought possible. This isn't just romance. It's a divine encounter. A love that aligns with your soul. A love that sharpens your spirit. And a love that will unlock parts of you that have been waiting for the right time to bloom. And as a chosen one, you're about to experience a love that doesn't just touch your heart. It reshapes your life. Things will begin falling into place. Doors will open. You'll look around and realize that all the lonely nights, all the heartbreaks, and all the delays were preparing you for something so much greater. But before you step fully into this, you need to understand how this kind of love works. Because it doesn't move like ordinary love. It carries a higher frequency, and you must align yourself with it to embrace it fully. If this message is resonating with your spirit, pause for just a moment. Press that like button to declare your agreement. Subscribe so you don't miss what's ahead, and type 99 in the comments. That number is a signal, a declaration, a way of saying, I'm ready to align with the love and purpose God has prepared for me. And remember this, if you are truly chosen, you'll stay with me until the end. Because deep down, your soul knows this word is for you. Now let's dive deeper. You are about to meet a love that changes everything. But here's the truth about chosen ones. Before love arrives, there is often a battle within. Because your calling is high, your standards are higher, and your mission weighs heavily on your heart. You were designed to chase purpose, to live with vision, and to hold yourself to ideals most people never consider. And while others admire that strength, it can also set you apart in ways that make connection feel nearly impossible. People see your light, but not everyone can handle the heat that comes with it. Some may respect your mission, but feel overwhelmed by the intensity of your focus. And so, you wrestle. Not because you don't want love, but because you refuse to lower your vibration just to keep company. You long for someone who matches your fire, but that search can leave you feeling alone. Add to that the pressure of your own inner standards. You know your worth. You know what you deserve. You've told yourself countless times that you will not settle. And that determination has kept you safe from empty, shallow relationships. But it has also, at times, made love feel distant, like an afterthought rather than a possibility. Your mission can consume so much space in your heart that it feels like love has no room to grow. And yet, here is the deeper truth. Love is still possible for you. Not just possible, but destined. The real challenge is recognizing that love isn't meant to distract you from your calling. It's meant to join you in it. The partner you're meant to meet will not dim your light. They will reflect it. They will not shrink from your standards. They will rise with you. They will not only accept your uniqueness, they will celebrate it. But here's something you must learn along the way. Perfection doesn't exist. There will never be someone who checks every single box, who flawlessly mirrors every part of your vision. And if you cling to the illusion of perfection, you might miss the very person who, though flawed, could be the answer to your prayers. The lesson here is to embrace the humanity in others, just as you've learned to embrace your own. When you do, love transforms. It stops being about impossible ideals and starts being about growth, trust, and shared purpose. That's when you'll realize the love coming into your life isn't just here to make you happy. It's here to make you whole. Chosen one, never lower your standards. They protect your heart and keep you aligned with your purpose. But here's the truth you need to embrace. Love doesn't always arrive in the exact package you imagined. Sometimes it's not about the perfect checklist, the flawless resume, or someone who looks ideal on paper. Real love is built on something deeper: understanding, patience, respect, and the willingness to grow together. And often, the person who doesn't seem perfect at first glance may be the very one God has prepared for you. Perfectionism can be a dangerous trap, especially for someone chosen. Because you strive for greatness in your calling, that same drive can bleed into every corner of your life, your work, your spirituality, and even your relationships. You constantly feel there's more to do, more to fix, and more to prove. That fire pushes you forward. But when it comes to love, it can leave you restless and drained. Think about it. How many times have you caught yourself replaying a conversation, analyzing every word, wondering if you said the right thing? How often have you watched your partner closely, not out of love, but out of fear they'll fall short of the standard in your mind? That constant vigilance doesn't just exhaust you. It builds a wall between you and real intimacy. Instead of resting in the connection, you're always scanning for flaws, waiting for cracks. And the one beside you, they start to feel it too. They feel like no matter what they do, it will never be enough. And that quiet distance begins to grow. The irony is that what you thought would protect the relationship actually starves it. Here's the breakthrough. Love isn't supposed to be perfect. Love is supposed to be alive. It's messy, it's unpredictable, and it has highs and lows, but that's where its beauty lies. True connection doesn't come from polished edges. It comes from honesty, vulnerability, and the courage to say, "I'm not perfect, and I don't need you to be either." When you accept your own flaws, you create space for a love that's real, raw, and transformative. But for chosen ones, another struggle appears: the weight of your mission. Your sense of calling is so strong, so heavy, that it can eclipse everything else. When you're locked onto your vision, the people closest to you may begin to feel like they're competing with something far bigger than themselves. And in a way, they are. Not because you don't love them, but because your eyes are set on a horizon few can see. What happens then? Misunderstandings. Your partner feels ignored. They wonder why your mission seems to get your best, while they get what's left. They start asking themselves, am I even a priority? Do I matter as much as this cause? You may not mean to send that message, but the imbalance speaks louder than your intentions. And here's where wisdom comes in. You must learn to balance the sacred weight of your calling with the sacred duty of love. Your mission will always matter, but so does the person walking with you. By carving out space for the relationship, real time, real attention, real presence, you give your partner permission to join your journey instead of competing with it. There's one more danger chosen ones face: emotional drainers. You give so much of yourself. Your heart is generous, your love is abundant, and your compassion runs deep. But because of that, you attract people who take without giving. Friends, family, even partners. Sometimes without even realizing it, they load their pain on your shoulders and leave you carrying their weight. Over time, you feel depleted, exhausted, and empty. This is why boundaries are holy. Saying no is not selfish, it's survival. Protecting your energy is protecting your purpose. You can't pour into others if you've been drained dry. Surround yourself with people who lift you, who celebrate you, and who add to your fire instead of smothering it. Spend time with those who inspire you to keep climbing higher. Chosen one, your love is a gift, but it's not meant to be poured endlessly into empty cups. Guard it, cherish it, and share it with those who honor it. That's how you keep your spirit strong and your light unshaken. Chosen one, there's something you need to hear, and it may hit closer to home than you expect. Not everyone who walks into your life is there because they care about you. Sometimes, people are drawn to your light, not to nurture it, but to feed off it. They're not showing up for you. They're showing up for what you give. Your kindness, your energy, your strength. Toxic people rarely come with a warning label. They hide their true motives behind sweet words, affection, or the appearance of friendship. They can wrap manipulation in gifts, smiles, or even love. But if you look closely, you'll notice a pattern. You're the one giving, and they're the one taking. They're not building you up, they're draining you dry. And here's the part most chosen ones struggle with. Because you're generous, you don't always notice it right away. You've been taught to be the strong one, the giver, the helper. You sacrifice your own needs to keep the peace. But over time, you start to feel it. That quiet anger, that emptiness you can't explain. It's the weight of carrying someone else's needs on your shoulders while your own go unmet. The answer isn't to harden your heart, it's to sharpen your instincts. Trust your gut. If something feels off, it usually is. Pay attention to how people make you feel after you spend time with them. Do you feel lighter, inspired, and supported? Or do you feel drained, anxious, and small? That's your spirit warning you. Real love doesn't drain you. It nourishes you. Real relationships don't take until you're empty. They pour back into you. One of your greatest gifts as a chosen one is your independence. You've learned to stand on your own 2 feet. You know how to handle life without waiting for someone to save you. This self-sufficiency is beautiful, but here's the challenge: independence can also become a wall. Without meaning to, you can send the message that you don't need anyone. Partners start to feel like outsiders in your life, like they'll never measure up. They don't see your independence as strength, they see it as distance. And while you're proud of being self-reliant, part of you wonders why deep connection feels so far away. You don't have to give up your independence to build closeness. You just have to let yourself be emotionally open. The right partner won't take your freedom away. They'll celebrate it. They'll help you stand strong and also give you a soft place to land. By allowing yourself to be vulnerable, you create space for a love that doesn't suffocate or compete with your mission, but grows alongside it. Remember, needing support isn't weakness. Even the strongest trees still need rain to thrive. True love is about reciprocity. Not one person carrying the other, but both people holding each other up when it matters most. When you let your guard down, you discover something powerful. Emotional closeness doesn't make you weaker. It makes your bond unbreakable. It's tempting, especially when you're lonely, to lower your standards. To tell yourself maybe you're asking for too much. To convince yourself that settling for almost right is better than being alone. But chosen one, that's not your path. Settling for less than what your soul needs will never fill the space inside you. It only leads to emptiness, exhaustion, and feeling disconnected from your true self. Your standards aren't a burden, they're a boundary. They're how your spirit protects itself. Don't let loneliness push you into places your soul doesn't belong. The relationship you're meant for will meet you at your level. It won't ask you to shrink to fit. So stay open, but stay strong. Guard your heart without closing it. Give, but not until you're empty. Love deeply, but never at the cost of losing yourself. That's how the chosen one not only finds love, but also a love that elevates them instead of draining them. Remember that your standards aren't just a list of preferences. They're a reflection of how much you value yourself. Every boundary you set, every no you speak, and every standard you uphold sends a message to the universe: this is what I'm worth, and nothing less. When you lower those standards out of loneliness or doubt, you're not only lowering the quality of relationships you attract, you're also lowering the way you see yourself. True love never demands that you shrink. It calls you to rise. The right partner will not ask you to bend who you are or dim your light, just to keep them comfortable. They'll meet you exactly where you are, not out of obligation, but because they recognize your worth and want to grow alongside you. One of the greatest strengths of a chosen one is their spiritual integrity, the unshakable commitment to stay true to their beliefs, values, and inner truth. That integrity creates a kind of unseen magnetism. It quietly calls in people who resonate with the same vibration of honesty, purpose, and depth. In a noisy, chaotic world full of trends and compromises, staying rooted in who you truly are is like sending out a signal. It cuts through the noise. It attracts the ones who are meant for you and naturally repels those who aren't aligned. When you stay on your path with honesty and clarity, you create space for a love that doesn't just coexist with your purpose. It amplifies it. This kind of love isn't about two people clinging to each other. It's about two souls walking side by side, each committed to growth, truth, and spiritual wholeness. And make no mistake, love for a chosen one runs deep. It's not shallow, it's not half-hearted, and it's never casual. When you love, you give with your whole heart, your whole spirit, and your whole mind. Your love heals, empowers, and transforms the lives it touches. But here's the challenge. That kind of love isn't easy for everyone to handle. Its intensity can feel overwhelming to someone who isn't prepared for it. Some people will admire your devotion at first, but struggle to receive it once they realize its depth. Others may misinterpret your passion as pressure because they've never experienced love at that level. That's why it's so important for you to find someone who's not only capable of accepting that love, but is equally capable of reflecting it back to you. The right person won't shrink from your intensity, they'll cherish it. They'll stand with you in vulnerability and openness, not run from it. Because for love to truly transform, it can't just be given, it must also be received. This is where many chosen ones struggle. You've spent so much of your life giving, nurturing, and pouring out of yourself without conditions that when love finally comes back to you, it can feel strange, even uncomfortable. You may feel undeserving or unsure, as if receiving makes you weak or needy. But love is supposed to flow both ways. It's a current, not a reservoir. Allowing yourself to receive doesn't make you less strong. It fills you, renews you, and deepens your ability to give. It's an act of self-respect to say, I deserve to be cared for just as much as I care for others. When you open your heart to receive, you step into a deeper intimacy, one that nourishes not just your partner, but your soul. And yes, being chosen comes with a weight. It comes with gifts, talents, and an energy that sets you apart. But it can also feel isolating. You may notice people admire you from a distance, but hesitate to come close. They may find your strength, your intelligence, or your spiritual depth inspiring, but also intimidating. It's not always easy for others to stand next to someone who carries that kind of presence. This doesn't mean you're destined to be alone. It means your connections will be rare, but they will be real. It means the people who do draw near will be those who see you, value you, and honor the uniqueness you carry. Those are the relationships where love will not just survive, it will thrive. Because at the end of the day, chosen one, your uniqueness isn't a burden. It's the filter that protects you from what isn't meant for you. It ensures that when love comes, it will be love strong enough to hold you, deep enough to meet you, and true enough to grow with you. I know there are moments where your uniqueness feels like a wall instead of a gift. You may look around and feel like no one really understands you. No one connects with you on the level your soul longs for. That loneliness can cut deep. But hear this, being different is not a weakness. It's not something to downplay or hide. Your difference is your strength. Your uniqueness is the very reason the right love will find you. A love that doesn't just tolerate your light, but is inspired by it. When you finally meet someone who truly sees you, not the image of you, not the surface, but the real you, something shifts. They won't be intimidated by your intensity. They won't shrink in the presence of your gifts. Instead, they'll honor it. With them, you won't feel the need to explain why you think differently or dream bigger. They'll understand it naturally, and together, you'll create a love that is rich, transformative, and built to last. At the core of every chosen one's journey is the longing for this kind of love. Not just affection, not just companionship, but the kind of love that feels divinely orchestrated, the kind that not only supports you, but pushes you into your highest potential. Because the right partner isn't someone who completes you. You are already whole. The right partner is someone who challenges you, sharpens you, grows with you, and loves you as you step into everything God has called you to be. When that person enters your life, everything begins to align. Your sense of purpose becomes clearer, your passion burns brighter, your spirit becomes more grounded, more in tune with the world around you. Love at that level doesn't just fill your heart, it redefines your future. It builds the foundation for everything else in your life, transforming the way you see yourself, your mission, and your destiny. But before you can fully embrace this love, there's a truth you need to face. Sometimes the greatest barrier to receiving love is your past. Old wounds. From childhood, from toxic relationships, from betrayals that left scars, can feel like chains around your heart. They whisper lies that you're unworthy, that you can't trust, that love will only end in pain. Those scars can make you doubt your value or block you from the intimacy you long for. Healing isn't easy, but it is necessary. It means looking honestly at your past, naming the pain instead of burying it, and giving yourself permission to heal. That healing may come through reflection, through prayer, through therapy, through allowing yourself time and space to let the old wounds close. But one thing is certain, your past doesn't define you. It never has, and it never will. When you begin to release that emotional baggage, you step back into your power. Healing is how you take your heart back from the people and situations that hurt you. It's how you clear the space for the love you deserve. Because real, divine love cannot grow in soil poisoned by fear and bitterness. It needs the soil of an open, healed heart. As you heal, something amazing happens. You begin to see yourself differently. You no longer question whether you're worthy. You know you are. You stop chasing people who can't meet you where you are, because you finally recognize your value. And as your inner world shifts, your outer world follows. You start attracting people who mirror your peace, your strength, and your clarity. Love born in this space is different. It's not rushed. It's not desperate. It's not full of fear. It flows freely, deeply, without conditions. It honors your spirit, respects your journey, and aligns with your divine purpose. The right person will love you not just in spite of your past, but because you've overcome it. They'll see the beauty in your scars and love the person those scars shaped. Remember this, the relationships you attract often reflect what you believe about yourself on the inside. If you're carrying fear, insecurity, or doubt, you may find yourself in connections that repeat those same cycles. But when you step into peace with yourself, when you align with your highest truth, you attract love that reflects that same wholeness. And that's the love that changes everything. Every relationship you attract is a reflection of the energy you carry inside. Think about that for a moment. The people who come into your life don't just show up by chance. They're mirrors. They reveal not only what you desire, but also the places within you that still need healing. If you keep finding yourself drawn to partners who are emotionally unavailable, it's worth asking, am I also keeping parts of my own heart locked away? Am I afraid to be fully seen, fully vulnerable? Relationships, good or bad, are teachers. They point directly to the areas where your soul is ready to grow. The beautiful news is this: you're not trapped in those patterns. You can shift the energy you radiate into the world. As you heal your wounds, learn to love yourself deeply, and strengthen your spiritual foundation, you naturally begin to attract connections that reflect that higher vibration. When you change the way you speak to yourself, when you finally choose to see your worth, that energy radiates outward, and the world responds. The mirror changes, and suddenly, the people drawn to you reflect the love, respect, and alignment you've cultivated within yourself. This mirror effect is powerful because it reminds you that everything begins inside. You are not powerless in your love life. You carry far more influence than you realize. When you tend to your inner garden, your relationships stop echoing your fears and start reflecting your truth. That's where love becomes real, solid, and nourishing. For the chosen ones, love is never just about companionship. It's about building something sacred. True love is a holy partnership, a bond with purpose. When two souls who share the same mission and values come together, their connection becomes unstoppable. It's more than chemistry, more than shared interests. It's two lives interwoven with a common vision, creating a love that uplifts both partners and ripples outward into the world around them. This kind of love is not small or shallow. It's expansive. It's the kind of bond where you can be fully yourself and still be part of something greater than yourself. In a sacred partnership, love becomes a force for transformation. It lifts you in your weakest moments, celebrates you in your strongest, and walks with you through every season. And in doing so, it doesn't just change your life. It impacts everyone who comes into contact with it. But here's a lesson every chosen one must learn. Love doesn't always follow the script you've written in your head. You may have a clear picture of your dream partner, the timeline you want, or how you expect your story to unfold. But love rarely plays by our rules. In fact, the most profound love often comes when you loosen your grip, surrender control, and open yourself to the unknown. Surrendering to love doesn't mean lowering your standards or abandoning your values. It means letting go of rigid expectations. It means allowing yourself to be surprised. It means trusting that the universe and God may have a plan that's even more beautiful than the one you imagined. The love you need may not look like the love you once thought you wanted. Sometimes it's not the smooth, predictable story you pictured. Sometimes it's the kind of love that shakes you, stretches you, and reveals parts of yourself you never knew existed. It's love that demands growth. Love that calls you deeper. Love that changes not just your heart, but your entire perspective. And when you learn to trust, you open the door to that kind of love. A love that frees you instead of binding you. A love that makes you lighter instead of heavier. A love that fills you with joy, peace, and the sense that you are exactly where you're meant to be. Chosen one, don't fear the unknown. Let it unfold. Because it's often in the surrender, in the letting go, that the love you've been waiting for finally finds you. Chosen one, there's a joy that only comes when you surrender to love. It's not the kind of joy you can buy, plan, or force. It's the joy that comes when you finally loosen your grip, let go of fear, and stop trying to control every outcome. The moment you release that need to manage everything, love slips in like light through a crack, filling your life with surprises, harmony, and a sense of balance you didn't even know you were missing. But let's be real, doubts are part of being human. And for you, carrying the weight of a unique path, those doubts can feel even heavier. You may wonder, will anyone be able to handle me? My strength, my depth, my difference. Those questions become walls around your heart, walls so strong that even love has a hard time getting through. Yet love is persistent. When you open the door, even just a little, it has the power to heal the darkest fears. Love doesn't demand perfection. It doesn't ask you to fix every flaw or silence every insecurity. Love simply asks you to show up as yourself. When you meet someone who sees you clearly, who accepts your imperfections and celebrates your strengths, the fears that once kept you locked away begin to crumble. Suddenly, you're not carrying the burden of being too much or not enough. You're free to just be. That's the miracle of love, its ability to heal and reassure. When someone truly loves you, you start to see yourself through their eyes. The scars you thought made you broken become the proof that you're resilient. The quirks you once hid become the very things that make you unforgettable. Love doesn't erase your story, it redeems it. And in that redemption, you discover a strength you didn't know you had. When you give and receive love openly, it transforms you. It dissolves insecurities, replaces fear with freedom, and empowers you to step fully into who you are meant to be. But here's a truth that's often hardest to accept: love doesn't arrive on your schedule. It arrives on God's. That's what we call divine timing. You may feel ready. Your heart may ache to be shared. You may wonder why the right person hasn't arrived yet. In those moments of impatience, it's easy to doubt yourself or believe something's wrong. But chosen one, remember this: love comes when both hearts are ready to give and receive something bigger than themselves. No sooner, no later. You can't rush it, you can't force it. Every event, every heartbreak, every delay is preparing you for the moment when your path and your partner's path finally align. When it happens, it won't just make sense. It will feel inevitable, as if every step, even the painful ones, led you to that exact moment. The greatest love always arrives at the perfect time, syncing flawlessly with your journey and your soul's deepest desires. So trust the process. Have patience. Know that nothing is wasted. Even heartbreak, as cruel as it feels, is part of your preparation. And for the chosen ones, heartbreak cuts deep. Opening your heart again, after it's been shattered, can feel almost impossible. You wonder if it's safer to build walls than to risk being hurt again. But here's the truth: every heartbreak holds a lesson. Each one teaches you more about who you are, what you need, and what you will no longer accept. And the courage to love again, even with scars, even with fear, is one of the bravest things you'll ever do. Because when you risk opening your heart again, you reclaim your power, You remind yourself that pain doesn't define you and fear doesn't rule you. And with every new beginning, you step closer to the love that is destined for you. The love that doesn't just heal your past, but illuminates your future. Chosen one, yes. It hurts to revisit the memories of heartbreak, the sting of betrayal, or the loneliness that once made your soul ache. But here's the truth, going back to those feelings isn't about reopening wounds. It's about finally allowing them to heal. Pain, when faced honestly, becomes a teacher. It carves wisdom into your heart, makes you more aware of yourself, and prepares you for the kind of love that will last. The key is to stop looking at loss as failure. Loss is not proof that you're broken, it's proof that you're growing. Every ending is a doorway to a new beginning. Every heartbreak an opportunity to rise stronger, wiser, and more emotionally grounded. To truly love again, you must first forgive. Forgive yourself for the mistakes you made, and forgive those who hurt you. Forgiveness doesn't excuse their actions. It frees you. It lifts the weight of anger off your chest, clears the fog of resentment from your mind, and makes space for love to take root again. Because love cannot thrive in soil poisoned by bitterness and fear. It needs openness. It needs vulnerability. And when you finally find the courage to love again, you invite in possibilities that move you closer to the life, changing relationship your spirit has been waiting for. Every single step you take toward healing, every wall you let fall, every moment you choose openness over fear, is a victory. You are not defined by what happened to you. You are not your heartbreak. You are not your pain. You are defined by your resilience, by the way you get up and keep moving, and by the fact that you are willing to love again despite what tried to break you. That is your strength. That is what makes you chosen. But here's a truth many forget: you cannot pour from an empty cup. Before you can love someone else fully, you must learn to love yourself. And no, self-love is not selfish. It is sacred. It is necessary. You spend so much of your time giving to your mission, to your family, and to your community. But if you never give to yourself, eventually, you burn out. You become depleted, running on empty, with nothing left to offer. Self-love is about treating yourself with the same care and compassion you show to others. It's about listening to your needs, honoring your emotions, and respecting your limits. It's scheduling time to rest without guilt, to reflect without distraction, and to care for your mind, body, and spirit as priorities, not afterthoughts. When you practice this, you create an energy around you that radiates wholeness, and that light naturally attracts love into your life. As you learn to truly love yourself, something else happens. You discover the power of healthy boundaries. You begin to recognize what drains you and what nourishes you. You stop tolerating relationships that strip you of your peace. You know what you need, emotionally, physically, spiritually, to remain balanced, and you honor those needs without apology. This kind of self-respect prepares you to attract a partner who will respect you too. Someone who doesn't just take from your love, but meets it with their own. Someone who doesn't expect you to pour endlessly, but knows how to pour back into you. And when that happens, your relationships stop being about dependency or fear of being alone. They become about mutual admiration, deep connection, and shared respect. Chosen one, when you finally master self-love, you unlock the ability to love someone else with purity, strength, and joy. You no longer need someone to complete you. You are already whole. Instead, you find someone who complements you, and together, you build a love that is healthy, transformative, and eternal. Remember this, chosen one, nothing you've been through has been wasted. Every heartbreak, every delay, every lonely night has been preparing you for the kind of love that will not only hold your heart, but also elevate your soul. Trust the process, trust the timing. And most of all, trust that you are worthy of the love that's coming. This is only the beginning. In the next video, I'll share how to recognize when that divine love is finally arriving in your life, the signs, the shifts, and the undeniable confirmations that you're stepping into your season. Don't miss it.